This summary is a continuation of a great story. If you're not yet familiar with the first and second parts of Foundation, I highly recommend starting with those. That will help you see the full depth and logic of the plot. The links are in the description. Enjoy watching. The Mule became the ruler of most of the galaxy, conquering world after world without a fight, by changing their hearts. Yet even in his triumph, he feared an invisible enemy, the Second Foundation. The Mule understands that as long as the Second Foundation exists, his power is unprotected. It is his only real enemy, and so he prepares a search. He sends Han Pritchard on the expedition, his most loyal agent, a former enemy whom the Mule emotionally rewrote to make loyal. To test the mission, the Mule adds Beta Chanis to the expedition, a young, independent thinker who has not yet fallen under his influence. Pritchard and Chani set off on a journey across the galaxy, searching for traces of the Second Foundation among the countless worlds hidden in the stardust. On the first planets, they are met by ordinary people, farmers, craftsmen, scientists. No one admits to the existence of the Second Foundation. Chanis begins to doubt either the Second Foundation is incredibly well hidden, or it doesn't exist at all. But he doesn't give up. They arrive on the planet Rossum, an agricultural world with simple people and an inexplicable calmness in every movement. Chanis quickly notices that something is off here. The people act too calmly, too properly, as if they're playing roles. He arranges an exposure, accusing the locals of belonging to the Second Foundation. Their reaction is silence, no resistance, no denial. It is at this moment, when Chanis uncovers the planetary conspiracy, that the Mule, watching from afar, senses it. His fears dissolve. The Mule no longer feels anxious. He believes the threat has been eliminated. The Second Foundation, if it ever existed, is no longer a danger. Pritchard, his loyal agent, returns to the Mule with a report. His face is calm, though faint shadows of doubt still linger in his soul. And Chanis feels like a hero. He managed to find the enemy. He earned trust by not succumbing to manipulation. But the real truth is hidden. The Second Foundation manipulated both the Mule, Chanis, and everyone around them, creating an illusion of victory. They intervened in the Mule's mind, making him believe that the threat was gone. That was their true victory. Now the Mule will no longer search. His attention is focused on ruling, while the Second Foundation continues to operate from the shadows. Beneath the surface of calm, an invisible struggle rages, a battle for the very soul of the galaxy, which ordinary people aren't even aware of. The Second Foundation does not seek glory. They are the architects of history. They guide the ages, leaving no trace behind. And while the Mule celebrates his illusory victory, the real power over the future remains in the hands of those he was never able to find. Several years had passed. The Mule continued to rule his empire, no longer searching for the Second Foundation. It seemed as if peace had settled in for good. Meanwhile, the Foundation, having regained its independence, began to develop once again. But its leaders also feared an invisible threat. Had the Second Foundation truly disappeared, or was it simply waiting in the shadows, ready to intervene at any moment? This question gave no peace. At the forefront of this new era appears young Arcadia Darrell, the intelligent, curious, and brave granddaughter of a renowned scientist. Arcadia is not satisfied with the official explanations. She is determined to uncover the truth about the Second Foundation on her own. When she overhears a secret conversation among the adults, the girl realizes that a new expedition is being prepared to search for the Second Foundation. Despite all the prohibitions, Arcadia decides to take action. She sneaks onto a ship that is heading into the unknown. She is discovered on board, but the captain decides to let her stay. Her intelligence and courage might come in handy. The ship sets off on a long journey, and every crew member senses that this mission will change the course of history. Arcadia sits by the porthole, gazing at the endless stars, and feels that somewhere out there are answers that will change everything. The first stop of the expedition is the planet Caligan, a peaceful world with an exceptionally harmonious society. Arcadia notices something strange. The inhabitants act too synchronously, as if under some kind of invisible control. She shares her observations with the captain, but the adults dismiss it as her imagination. But soon, strange changes begin to happen on board. Crew members start changing their minds for no apparent reason. One of the scientists suddenly calls for the search to be stopped. He says it would be better to leave the second foundation alone. Arcadia realizes that someone is manipulating their minds, and that someone is very close. She decides to escape and deliver the information to Terminus herself, because that's the only place where she might still be heard. Her escape is risky. Agents are chasing her, their faces calm but their eyes cold. At the last moment, she manages to take off on a cargo ship, leaving the pursuit and danger behind. A dangerous journey home lies ahead. But in Arcadia's heart burns a sense of certainty. She knows she's doing the right thing. Upon returning to Terminus, Arcadia delivers her message to the Foundation Council. They listen to her, though with skepticism. Some of the leaders begin to doubt whether they truly control their own future, or if they've long been under the influence of the Second Foundation. The Council makes a decision. They need to act quickly. If the Second Foundation exists, it must be found and neutralized. The scientists analyze Selden's clues. The Second Foundation must be at the other end of the galaxy. But how should this be interpreted correctly? A hypothesis is put forward. The other end of the galaxy is the side opposite to Terminus, the sector closer to the galactic core. Based on this hypothesis, a new expedition is organized. Its goal is to find the Second Foundation's base and eliminate the threat. Arcadia senses that something is wrong. She still has a doubt in her heart. Could the Second Foundation be playing a game with them as well? While the Foundation prepares for an attack, the real Second Foundation acts invisibly, gently adjusting thoughts and decisions. The decisive moment arrives. A pseudo-conflict takes place, in which the supposed center of the Second Foundation is destroyed. The Foundation celebrates its victory. Newspapers come out with headlines, "The Second Foundation defeated." Calm and joy sweep through society. But Arcadia senses something is off. She knows the real Second Foundation couldn't have been destroyed so easily. She tries to warn the elders, but no one wants to listen. Their belief in victory is stronger than reality. Meanwhile, the Second Foundation acts carefully. With subtle influences, they steer the course of history, avoiding open confrontation. Their goal is not power for power's sake. They safeguard Selden's plan to avoid chaos and shorten the age of barbarism. Each of their interventions is a tiny nudge, invisible to the masses but critically important for the future. For ordinary people, this is a time of peace and prosperity. But deep within history, a quiet struggle for the right direction of development continues. Arcadia resumes her research once again. She believes that only knowledge will help reveal the true puppet masters. She keeps a secret diary where she records all her suspicions, analyzes facts, and looks for connections between events. One evening, she feels like someone is watching her. A stranger's silhouette flickers in the shadows. Is it a real threat, or just her imagination? Arcadia knows one thing: she's already too close to the truth. Arcadia understands. She can no longer trust anyone, not even those she once considered allies. She decides to act on her own. Her goal is to find traces of the real Second Foundation. Arcadia sets out for the Galactic Center, a place which, according to her conclusions, could be the true stronghold of the Second Foundation. Her journey is dangerous. Many do not want the truth to be revealed and will resist. At last, she arrives on a mysterious planet, ancient and covered in ruins, where every stone seems to remember the past. In the center of the ruins, she finds traces, symbols that speak of ancient knowledge and hidden wisdom. Here, she meets a person in the cloak of a silent sage, someone who knows more than they let on. He doesn't deny her suspicions, but he doesn't confirm them directly either. His words are like riddles, filled with hidden meaning. She realizes the truth is closer than ever, but so is the danger. She faces a choice: to reveal the truth to the world or to keep the second foundation in the shadows for the sake of humanity's future. Arcadia ponders her decision for a long time. Doubt tears at her heart. Truth or safety? She realizes that if she reveals the existence of the second foundation, humanity could once again descend into chaos. But if she leaves things as they are, the galaxy will have a chance for guided development and can avoid millennia of barbarism. She chooses silence. By keeping the secret, Arcadia takes on a tremendous moral responsibility. She returns home, knowing that the true heroes are those who sacrifice glory for the sake of the future. On Terminus, she is welcomed as an ordinary girl. No one suspects what mission she has accomplished. And somewhere in the shadows, far among the stars, the second foundation continues its invisible protection of humanity. The Selden plan lives on. And as long as the second foundation exists, hope for the galaxy will not fade. Thank you for watching until the end. If you enjoyed this summary, don't forget to write in the comments which book you'd like to see next. Your ideas are very important. See you in the next videos.